What's going on, everybody out there? Look at that fire Dante button, man. The first comment that I see on the channel. Let me get that back up. But as I get everything together, just want to say today is going to be a solo show. My man Andre Cassidy has something to come up where he cannot make this post game show, but I'm going to carry this on for us. Let me adjust my camera here just a little bit here. Do that right there. But hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, aka Man of the People. I enjoy working for the fans of the Carolina Panthers. Right now, we unfortunately stand at 0-6 after a tough loss to the Miami Dolphins. Man, what a game. It was a really quick rise and a hard fall in this game. So I'm going to take you through it. We're also going to go live to Miami with our team photographer, Charlotte Vibe team photographer, Patrick Snyder. I'm going to tell you this, man. His photographs are awesome. Like every awesome moment from the game today, he caught. I just wish that we had some W's that we were showing you. But hey, if you haven't joined us on Instagram, I know we're pushing a subscribe on YouTube a lot. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. We're giving away a Bryce Young jersey. But do yourself a favor, head over to Instagram, give us a like there, check out all the photos that we have from the Carolina Panthers. I promise you, you will not see a better selection of photographs than that in which we had. I got to plug in here because I see that I'm not plugged in. 1 second. All right, so let me get this noise out of here that's going on in the background. And let me get my comments up because I can't see you all's comments, which may be coming there. So give me a second to get that back straight. Let's see, comments. Where's my comments? Window. There we go, comments and reactions. There we go, now I can see you guys' comments. Tuning in right there. And let me give a few shout outs. Carson Henson, Matt Chatter, Carolina Panthers, Brandon Herbert, Matto Lomax. A few of the people that have already tuned into the show. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button if you have not done so. Hit the like button. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm sorry, we're already over 8,000. We're trying to get to 10,000. And we're going to go ahead and break down in just a moment the game today. And let me go ahead and throw up this picture right here because sometimes you guys can see how much I'm trying to do so quickly and get you the content. We continue to change things around because I understand, I get it. Team's not winning. You don't want to wait an hour for us post game. So we continue to change things up so we can get you the content quicker. And sometimes you may catch me in the act of getting stuff together. But Matt Chatter, I appreciate you saying thank you for your hard work. Chris, we appreciate you. And you bring great value. I sincerely appreciate that from you. I'm also trying to get some pictures from my photographer here as I am working with you all. So I'm going to be doing a little double duty as we get ready to look at these stats. But, immediate reaction, there's a link in the description. The title says it, and I'm going to drive it home, remind you. These shows are live for a reason. Live and interactive because I want you all to have a place that you can come to. Talk some sports with a guy that's credentialed to cover the Carolina Panthers, somebody that's in the locker room, somebody that's at the games, and have sometimes some pretty good insight on things. So whether it's a question about a technical aspect of the game, the Panthers themselves, whatever it may be, come on, vent, okay? Link is in the description. Any computer, phone, anything with a camera and an internet connection will allow you to come on the show and talk with me. So I think I got all these pictures here. So give me a moment. I'm going to load up all these pictures really quickly. Let's see. And you all can feel free to join the show as I get ready to load these up. Looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images. So give me a moment. I'm going to transfer these right onto the screen for you all. I want to know And go ahead and start leaving them in the comments now. I want to know how you all are feeling about this game so far. How do you feel about the results of this game today? Let me know. Again, I'm just getting together these images for you guys. It's gonna take me like another about 20 seconds. So we'll start with going through these images. Almost done. Again, going through some images. We're gonna start to show off with looking at some images from everything here. I'm telling you, these are some good images. Unfortunately, not a great game, but some heck of images by our photographer here. And I'm not looking at the comments yet, so please be leaving some comments about your impressions of this game, how you feel about it. I want to know. I want to talk about it with you. Just really unfortunate. That's the best way I could put it. Really unfortunate. All right, I got one more image that I'm about to get online for y'all, and we'll get it moving here. Let's see here. All right, got the one more image. About to get it on the screen here, and we'll talk about it. All right, let me first check the comments that have come through here. Ooh, lots of good comments. Knucklehead K, disappointed in the loss, of course. Disappointed in the loss, of course, but they played well. Okay, appreciate the comment there, Knucklehead K. Let's talk about Leonard Kowalski. Said the best the offense has looked with Bryce under center this season. We didn't turn the ball over either. A lot more injuries, though. Yeah, man. Definitely has some more injuries. That is definitely we're going to miss Andre Cassidy today because he normally keeps track of the injuries. But I know we had Laviska Shenault. I know Luvu went out and came back in. And actually, I think I can have the injuries. We had, Frankie Luvu who went out. I'm sorry, he did not come back. We had Yetur, Laviska, and Frankie Luvu. Yeah, had a lot of stuff happening today. So let's go ahead and get into these images. Man, we're going to look at some images from the game. We're going to go over some stats. We're going to have my photographer that's still out there in Miami call in from the field. And we're going to go over your comments, and hopefully some of y'all will call in, leave me your comments, leave me your thoughts. I really would appreciate you doing so if you don't mind taking the time to do that. And let's go ahead and start with some images from the game. All right, Carolina Panthers versus the Miami Dolphins. Did not get the results that we wanted, but man, look at this picture here. So here is a nice jump over a defender by the Miami Dolphins in this game. Great picture. I mean, this type of thing happened more than once today where you had a player being jumped over by the opponent. I know Tommy Tremble also had one, but here's a great picture from, again, our photographer, Patrick Snyder. And this one here, man, the race of the cheetahs. The race of the cheetahs, Dante Jackson, as well as Tyreek Hill. I know Dante Jackson, man, he competed in that event several years ago about the fastest 40-yard dash in the NFL. So he's super fast for sure. And Tyreek Hill just got him. And he pulled away from him just by a tad bit, but still, man, when you got two super fast guys, once he gets ahead of you, it doesn't matter. It's by 6 inches or 6 feet. You're not going to close the gap. That's what happened here to Dante on this play from by Tyreek Hill from Tua. This here, early on in the game, man, this is when we were all watching the game thinking, man, this is great. The Carolina Panthers were up 7-0. The Carolina Panthers are up 14-0. Adam Thielen doing this thing, and it just went downhill. But again, great photographs from our photographer, Patrick Snyder. I encourage you all to please go over to Instagram. You'll see a lot more photographs that we have from the game. No better photographer than our guy, Patrick. So this guy here, Chuba Hubbard, grinding out, had a great first quarter, man. Had a great start to the game. Just was not able to pull it through 3 quarters and to a full game. Not all on him, but you can see, just look at the grit on his face, just trying to grind it out. Good picture here, nevertheless. I got Bryce Young, played a good game today, 0 interceptions, and did well. Did some things wrong, but he's a rookie. He's showing that he's growing, and I really feel like a lot of Panther fans understand that overall it looks bad because you're 0-6. Overall, it just looks terrible. But when you look at some individual things, especially that individual performance of of Bryce Young, you can see this guy is improving, and he's looking good. So, and this here was Laviska Shenault. All right, we're going to pause here for a second because my photographer is calling in. So give me just a second, and I'm going to bring him back on, who's on the field. Just a second. Give me a second. And Patrick, give me a thumbs up. I think you can hear me good. Oh, I got 2 thumbs up. Here we go. Live from Hard Rock Stadium. Is it hot? Does it feel good?
Yeah, it was very, very hot out here today. It's hot Miami. What do you expect here?
Hey, Patrick, you're just a little off-center to the camera. If you don't mind, bam, you're perfect right there. You're perfect. Go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, it certainly matched the Panthers' start to this game. It was actually fun the first half because it was like watching a place get unplugged. I don't think the crowd and the fans here knew what quite to make of being down by 14 points at home, and it was a nice feeling. I just kept waiting. I just kept waiting would the real Miami Dolphins please stand up, and they certainly did down the stretch. And I give the Panthers credit; it's the best they've looked in a while, and they were playing a very good team while they were doing it at the same time. So obviously injuries impacted them. I think there was a lot of heat-related injuries as well out there along that sideline. It was interesting to see how the Miami Dolphins sideline was completely in the shade the entire game, and the Panthers sideline was a blazing oven.
Yeah, and let me ask you this, Patrick. Can we please get performances from the game that are as great as your photographs? I wish we could just play your photograph and not have to say what the score was, because it seemed like every bit of great action, players jumping over each other, scoring. You got it. But unfortunately, I have to tell these people it was a score that was almost exactly what it was in Detroit.
Yeah, it really was. And I just think you just saw a team get worn down in the second half. There was obviously a couple of bursts down in the fourth quarter, but the bottom line was it was a team that, they're missing a lot of their starters. And but what was exciting was to see the potential of what's there, getting the ball downfield, opening up the running game. It was nice to see Chuba. I think he just kind of like, hey, the ball's mine, and he ran like that the entire game. And he ran with a lot of passion out there. I mean, Laviska was looking great until he left on a cart. So it's just, I think the Panthers have a lot to look at with 6 games heading into the bye. I'm sure, I don't know how many times I heard Frank say, we're going to look at the tape, we're going to be looking at the tape, we're going to be looking at the tape. But I think, looking at Bryce in the press conference a few minutes ago, I mean, it almost like he took this one harder than in the other losses, because I think they felt like they were up, they saw the potential of what they could do, and then unfortunately their depth crept back in at the end.
Well, now he played against his Alabama colleague. Do you think that had anything to do with that head down after the game? Like, man, he got me good.
It was funny. He he wouldn't share with us what Tua whispered to him when they came together at the end of the game, but he said definitely some great information to hold on and use in the future. And he was very appreciative of that information that was given to him.
Hey, Patrick, before I let you go, you kind of touched on it already, talking about how lifeless it was when we were first up by 14-0. How did you feel? Uh-oh, I lost Patrick for a second. Where did he go? Where did he go? He may come back on, guys. So I'm going to give Patrick, who was talking to us live from Miami, a chance to come back on. He's our photographer, captioned all the pictures that I was showing to you guys. And yeah, he went off. So I'm going to give him a chance to get back on before I go too much further. Another chance for me to say, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. All right, I think he's coming back on here. Let's see. I mean, man, it was a good, I didn't think it was a bad question.
I lost you there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was asking about the energy level. So obviously you talked about how it was lifeless down there when we went up 14-0. But I was wondering if you could talk about how it felt like. Did it quickly go to the Dolphins, or was it a couple of series where you just saw the momentum shifting? What was the feeling like?
It definitely, like I said, it was kind of like a gut punch to the crowd here, and then when you saw the Dolphins become the Dolphins again, and that momentum just kind of, it was like dominoes falling in here, and those long, deep passes down the field. You're watching Panthers players fall down behind, Tyreek Hill running on that touchdown pass into the end zone. It just, it's tough. I mean, it's nice to see what they put together here in Miami, and I hope that one day we have that kind of depth within our receiving core.
Be amazing.
But yeah, but again, I guess for me the positives was that Bryce just stood in there, man. He stood in there. He took the hits during the game. He was under pressure constantly during this game, and people get on him about his size, but that guy's size and the way he plays along the backside of his line reminds me a lot of kids trying to play where they're trying to catch each other, and he's ducking and he's swooping, and these guys are so big and so massive, and he can duck under them, and there were so many times I thought, okay, here we go, they got him, and then he got out, and so his ability to keep the play alive and stay on his feet is, something I look forward to seeing over the next 11 games. And I really think that the focus has to be on the next 11 games and letting Bryce grow. I mean, he's the piece of this that everything is going to get built around. There's not a number one draft pick. It's not a rosy picture down the stretch. I saw our first Panther fan with a bag on his head here in the stadium here in Miami, and he was proudly wearing it the entire game. But then again, I photographed a guy off the start of the game who was, Panthers are 0-5, and I'm here to support them. So I think it's going to be interesting with 11 games left in the season, how they pick themselves up coming out of the bye. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussions leading into their game against Houston. And did they make the right pick at quarterback again? And I'm sure we're going to see some signs in Bank of America Stadium that make mention of that in the next. But I thought Bryce played well today. I thought he looked solid. He looked like a player that's growing in the NFL.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick, I'm going to let you get out of here. I appreciate you jumping on, and try to have just a smidgen of fun in Miami. Enjoy something before you come back here to Charlotte and back to us in this cold weather here.
All right, Chris. Take care, man.
All right. See you later. All right. So that was our guy, Patrick Snyder, our photographer. He's been photographing the Panthers for years. He's now on our staff. Very happy to have him. And some people have said, where is Andre Cassidy? He did have a personal matter pop up where he is not able to be with us for the post-game show. But show him your love. Show him that you wish he was here. Sprinkle him some love and give him his flowers in the comments. Hit the like button. I'm sure he'll love to see that when he comes on. But he'll be back with me tomorrow as we do our day after show, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is also when we will have the giveaway for the Bryce Young jersey officially live and online. So without further ado, I see some comments coming. Keep those comments coming. I will touch on those. And there's a link in the description to allow you to come onto the show. Asking you guys to come on the show, tell me how you feel, tell me any questions that you have. Meanwhile, we're going to hit a few more pictures that I have from Patrick, and then we'll go into the post-game show with some stats. These ones I already had up, so I'm going to skip through those pretty quickly. And then I think there's just a few more. Here's the shot of Laviska Shenault. Man, this guy got hurt early on, and you see the disappointment on his face. I'm sure you're disappointed anytime you get hurt in this league, but for him, he was starting to get that increased role finally. So today was a day that he was going to have a lot of opportunity, and unfortunately, he went out early. That was a great photograph by Patrick of him being carted off. And I think we have one more. My man Bryce Young, who he just talked about, looked good during the game, and I gotta agree. We're about to go over the stats right now for Bryce, but there's my man Bryce. Just could not have enough help, in my opinion, to get it done today. But I feel like I think he served us very, very well today. So those are the photographs. And as you know, and as I promised, whenever you come on the show, joining us live, we'll instantly pause the show and go to you. So just a reminder that there's a 2-minute limit on it. And with that in mind, we're going to bring on my man. How's it going, sir?
Hey, it's going fine. Obviously, what's going on at home, the game perspective, it's not meaning as much to me as before. But anyway,
Absolutely.
the defense is terrible. I mean, where's Brian Burns? In my opinion, outside of the Falcons game, it's been a non-factor. I mean, seriously, where's Jeremy Chin? Where's Derek Brown? The only one who I saw play out today was Frankie Louvu. So it's not about injuries, but it's about effort, because you cannot, backup players or not, you cannot allow untouched rushing touchdown, untouched passing touchdowns. That is all about effort. The only bright spot was Bryce. And I don't know what happened. The first 2 touchdowns, you saw that they played well. Then the rest of the game, they disappear. So as a fan, as a diehard fan, I'm sick and tired of the excuse. I mean, we stood on draft party. They told us we are going to be well, we are going to be great. And they lied to us. So it's time to clean house.
Hey, always great to see you, man. I appreciate you tuning in, especially with things going on back home.
Sure, not a problem. Trying to find distraction from what is going on over there.
And one day, I hope that we'll be able to bring, here's what you have to promise to me. You have to promise to me that the first game we win this season, that you will be the first one to come on the show. Like, as soon as we start it, you have to come on. I want to see you happy.
If we win. But honestly, I'm not as mad as before because of what happened at home. I'm really not.
Understandable. Hey, well, thank you for coming on.
Sure, no problem.
All right, so that's how you come on. Pretty simple. That's a Shaq. Man, I feel like I'm going to mess up the name. He sent me the link. Shackhead. I think that's closer. Shackhead. Very, very loyal viewer. Always comes on. Has some really, really good takes on things. And yeah, Bryce Young was a bright spot, but I will add to this one. You got to throw in Adam Thielen with that. You got to tag along Adam Thielen because that was his #1 target. He's doing extremely well. We just really thought we would see some other guys shine at times, and it's like, wow, why are none of these other guys, why is Chark not jumping out at any point? Why is Mingo or Marshall or just a lot of the other guys not shining out like Thielen? Why is he so far ahead of the other guys? But let's go ahead and go and look through some of the stats from today's game. That's always what we break down. Let me make sure I have it loaded up. Let's see here. Just a moment, everybody, and I'll get these stats, and we'll continue to move along here. I got the stats loaded up, and we're going to get them on the screen here. He said I got his name spot on. How about that? How about that? All right. I'm almost ready to show these stats, but I got a caller. I like getting callers. Here we go. Second caller of the day. Eric, you have muted yourself. So if you could unmute yourself, we'll be able to hear you.
You hear me?
I can hear you. Looks like you're running for freedom.
Yeah. But I wanted to come on here and just say what's up and talk a little Panthers. But I was the one saying I didn't expect to win, but I did see improvements. I just wanted to talk about when the momentum changed with that. Why did we go for it on 4th and 8?
I wasn't mad at that one, man. You didn't like that?
Well, and then the main thing I want to discuss is why would the refs refuse to fix the chains? And then even the people on the screen wouldn't show us a side view and just stop it and show us where his foot was and where his arm was. Because I feel like he probably was a tiny bit short. But it's like we don't have the technology where you can show all the fans. You know what I mean?
We don't have what was it, like a Walmart 3? I forget all the promos they have for the different cameras and angles, but it's some 360 thing that they have on football sometimes. Where was that at today, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like the season's pretty much over. Like, I just hope fans realize when we got Bryce Young, like, instead of 10 years, we're going to be better in like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we could have been good this year, but the injuries and just we need time to build with the coaching staff and everything. I just don't think people should be like, fire this guy, fire this guy. Some people need to be fired. All right? But, I mean, just have hope. Try to enjoy it. It's hard to watch right now. Maybe we can be the team that, like, ruins someone else's chances this year.
You're going to have to look for the game within the game, right, to enjoy watching this team.
But at least we kind of had a run game in the beginning. That made our offense look a little bit better. So, but
yeah, I'm going to touch on that. Did you have anything else before your 2 minutes up? You got 15 seconds if you had anything else you want to throw in there for me.
I just want to say I got Thielen and Chuba in my fantasy, so, you know, just keep giving them the ball. And the last hope, it's not football related, but the last hope for Charlotte is the Hornets. So, you know, I hope you're a fan of them too. See you guys.
Hey, really quick. I'm not a betting guy, but I'm like, man, the way Thielen has been playing, he should have been making some people some money this season, man. That guy has to be beating the over-under.
Well, that's another thing I want to say is just Thielen's supposed to be the number 2. He shouldn't be our best wide receiver. Just imagine if we had a number 1 and Thielen playing like he is right now is our number 2. Like Bryce would have the weapons he needs. So.
Absolutely. Hey, Eric, appreciate you calling, man. Thanks for stepping out.
Yeah.
Hey, love it when you guys call. I see that you're starting to get used to this, right? This show is live for the purpose of interacting with you all, hearing your comments, being able to talk to myself, and typically my co-host Andre Cassidy about some things. So please keep it up. We're going to be in this together, have a lot of fun, vent, questions, comments. I'm here for you. Let's go ahead and get into some of these stats from today. I didn't label this properly, so excuse me if I go through a few too fast here, but we're going to always start with the quarterbacks. Here we are. Bryce Young, 23 completions, 38 attempts, so a lot of throwing with the ball today. Over 200 yards for the second week in a row, 217. The average 5.7. He had a touchdown, no interceptions. 4 sacks, rating of 85.1. His rating was actually a lot higher for most of the game. It just kind of went down in that second half. But what you see in these stats, number one thing that jumps out and should jump out to you is that there were no interceptions. Anytime you don't have any turnovers, that's what you need. That typically gives you a chance to win. And his completion percentage is not that bad either. So it took 4 sacks. A lot of those coming, some were pressure, some were him just running around. But in my opinion, just Not a bad game at all by your quarterback. So I'm going to let you, Quinton, I'm going to get to you in just a second. I do want to go through some more of the stats before I jump into you. No, you know what, Quinton? You're driving, looks like, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw you on. Appreciate you tuning in. What's going on, man?
Man, how are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good, man. You driving with the shades on, looking like you just unbothered by this Carolina
I
Panthers.
got. I'm hiding my eyes to hide my cries.
I think you may need to get a few more shades for some other fans.
Man, I'm telling you, it was rough, man. But I was happy about that fourth down. I was happy about them going for it. I kind of would have liked to see Blackshear on that, but I understand Chanel, and he was really close. But I mean, we're 0-5. I mean, we got to take chances like that, man, and then take the chance just to go ahead and step on their necks and maybe stay on top. Because I know at some point in time, Miami was going to get on top of their game. So that part of it I was happy about. The other part was I really wish I like the 4-3 a whole lot better than that 3-4. We keep, we're in the middle of the pack because we keep everything in front of us, and that's how it's supposed to be, until the Legion of Vroom came, we oppose them. But other than that, I'm still happy with the way your tour is working. And Brian, I thought Brian was going to get mad after, they did a Spider-Man and X'd it out. That was they did a backflip on us today. They had a celebration dance. Man, there was a lot to unpack, man. But on the other end, I'm happy to see Chuba really get the respect that he deserves because, I felt like we could have mashed a whole lot, let those guys push and grind. That's what Ikedo's in there for. And that's what Taylor Moton, out of old Michigan State, he was known for a road grader. These
Right.
guys are ready to run. Ron left that behind a little bit, but as far as the coaching, there has to be a little change now because coaching is just, influencing guys and process, getting them to embrace the process. If we can't get guys motivated to handle, I'll say the schemes and things that they're doing, then we got to get some people in there that can. That's the only part I'll say because there's some great coaches, some head coach candidates on our squad that are, they should be making a little bit more happen, man. But I just want to wear my jersey one Monday. That's one Monday. I have a brand new one. I just want to wear it on a Monday, loud and proud. And that's it. That's the only thing I got, man. I hate to go on a rant like that. What's up, everybody? Keep pounding. Still with us.
Hey, you hit it right at the 2-minute mark. I appreciate you very much. Good to see you, sir. So I love you guys coming on the show. I appreciate it, and I hope that you're enjoying it. So, there used to be this thing, and I say used to because we have not been able to talk about it much, and Quinton talked on it there. He just wants to wear. We got a man who just wants to wear his jersey on Monday. He got a brand new one. He hadn't been able to pull it out yet. So, Victory Monday is what was popular under head coach Ron Rivera. And I actually made T-shirts called Victory Monday. I know it's just a handful of you out there that still have those. Like, man, I'm waiting to wear my jersey, waiting to wear my shirt. It's tough. It's tough when we're not getting that. And he touched on that fourth down play by Laviska. I thought it was great. I wasn't expecting it. And I feel like Laviska actually had a pretty good chance of getting it. I know you can say 8 yards is a lot, but he was not in a bad position to get that, and he just got just a hair off and maybe recognizing where he was on the field, or maybe just a hit kind of, he couldn't control where he took his body. But I'm with the group that says this, at 0-5, and you know that you're going up against an explosive team, you're probably not going to be stopping them too many times anywhere where it's, if they got to go 50 yards or they got to go 80 yards, so it's that big of a difference. These guys are like track stars. They are fast, and they make explosive plays. So go for it. And we did, and we were just a hair short. And yeah, it was some frustrating things within that. But nevertheless, we're going to keep on rocking through. Again, jump the line. I see we got some good comments coming. Please keep them coming. We also got some members that are on here, and I have not had a chance to acknowledge all of our members yet. But please hold on. I got some stats that I'm going to touch on then I'm going to make sure I give my acknowledgement to our members that help keep this channel going. Let's go next up. We already had that one, so let me get rid of that there. And let's go to rushing. All right, Chuba Hubbard, 19 carries, 88 yards. Raheem Blackshear, 5 carries, 18 yards. Laviska with 1 for 2. So as a team, we did get over 100 yards. Here is the big problem with this stat. So I'm going to take this off the screen for a second. I'm going to ask this question quickly because I know there's a little bit of delay. How many of those yards do you think were happening in the first quarter versus the rest of the game? That's my question. I want you all to chime in, all right? Here's a stat. We had 108 total yards rushing. Kind of not bad. We made it over 100 yards for once. How many of those yards were captured in the first quarter? All right? Again, there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to give you all another few seconds to start seeing if there's some comments that come in before I just tell you what that answer is. Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I was not looking at the right screen. And Chuba needed a few more runs, says Fleetwood 704. All right, maybe the delay is too big for you guys. I don't want to keep stalling too much. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you the answer to this. So I'm going to put this screen back up here. 80, Chuba, leading rusher, 88 yards, total 108. We had rushing 63 yards in the first quarter. 63. So basically, just about 40 of those came from the rest of the game. So you're looking at just over 10 yards per quarter after that. They shut it down. I mean, I feel like, and this is why I couldn't wait to show this stat. And I've touched on this in terms of for Miles Sanders when he was playing, about something that could help him out. Just having a little bit more balance allows people with their talents to be able to excel. Not everybody is like a super takeover and can create their own. Not everybody's a Tyreek Hill. Not everybody's a Travis Kelce kind of guy where they could just be so incredible that they don't need things to be created for them. Most players do need something else going to help create. And that first quarter, we had running going and we had passing going. And we were able to put points on the board. We were able to go up against the Miami Dolphins 14-0 because we were running the ball successfully. That takes a little pressure off Bryce, where it just makes players have to think a little bit more. And because they have to be aware of your dual weapons. It went away, and then they just shut us down. They turned the spigot off. We did not score after that first quarter. That pick six was on the defensive side. So, yeah, that's last time showing this. This was our problem right here. We lost the ability to run the ball after the first quarter. And once we lost the ability to run the ball after the first quarter, we did not have a chance in this game. And last year, when Steve Wilks took over this team, that was something that was boldly established, is the ability to run the ball, even if you know that we are going to run the ball. And that in itself made the Carolina Panthers like a 500 team. That in itself, being able to run the ball, it's important. It's important in this league to be able to do so. And it sure 100% showed how important it could be today by us being ahead of the Miami Dolphins. 14-0. Defense was tackling. Defense was giving 3 and outs. And we gave ourselves a chance to win. Let's go over another stat here. Receiving. And I know this one will get a lot of people upset. And again, my members that are joined the channel, help support the channel, I am coming to you shortly. I always promise to make sure I acknowledge you. We're going over these stats, and that's when we're going back into a little bit more of the free form, where I'm going to go over a lot more comments that are coming in. Adam Thielen continues to be the man. Adam Thielen continues to be, again, I'm not a bettor, but man, I don't know what the over-unders are, but to me, if you're betting on Adam Thielen to get over 100 yards, you're just straight up banking lately. He had 115 yards, 13 targets on 11 receptions out of that, had a touchdown, and 10.5-yard average. I mean, that guy's just playing incredibly well. And like Quinton, our caller, and the call line is open still. So as long as I'm online, you guys can call in and let me know what you think about this game. But as Quinton touched on, Thielen's not supposed to be our number one guy. He is. So imagine if Thielen was playing like he was. I don't do too many like what ifs. Thielen was playing like he is, but then we had any kind of balance. I don't even have to say like another true number one. We could have another solid number two. What if we had what if there was another guy that you can count on? Even if that guy was like a possession receiver. You know, Mingo, Chark, Marshall, if any of those guys could get some consistency, it makes a different ball game. But, you know, hats off to Adam Thielen. I don't want to take away, say like Thielen, you're not doing good. Hey, he's balling. He's doing well. DJ Chark was second in receptions, 6 targets, 3 catches. And then, but it's a big drop off. You go from 115 yards, 26, 25, 21. Tommy Tremble, man, Tommy Tremble with a heck of a play and run after the catch. Look, I mean, a lot of times you see a guy make a hurdle, then he's immediately hit, doesn't land on his feet, but Tommy Tremble hurdle and I think gained like about 7 yards after the catch there. So did well. Jonathan Mingo, I like how hard he runs after the catch. He had 3 targets on 2 receptions. I'm sorry, he had 3 targets, yes, but he had 2 receptions out of that for 21 yards. Guy runs hard. Hayden Hurst finally got to get a reception today. He hadn't been able to get any. And then Terrace Marshall, no catches, 3 targets. So it's, you know, the Terrace Marshall thing is like a Houdini. He's there, then he's gone. Last week it was coaching staff's fault for not getting him involved. And even when he didn't get involved last week, I said, I don't feel like Terrace Marshall has yet earned that he should be out there being like a featured guy. But I just felt like last week having him out there would just been another opportunity to give him a chance to continue to grow and build off that previous game because he's not yet consistent. Today he showed that with 0 receptions on 3 targets, just lacking some consistency there from Terrace Marshall Jr. So that's all the thing on the receiving side. Let's close on up with the defense, and then we'll go and open it back up to the questions. Let you guys marinate over the defensive things. As we're marinating, super chats, welcome, appreciate it, need it. If you had a chance to do that. And we also have our Cash App in the description in case, you know, Sandy, YouTube does take a portion of those super chats. So the smaller amount, consider using Cash App. You can send us $1, and that way we don't lose 30% of the fees going to YouTube as we try to help continue to support the channel and what we're doing over here. But put this defensive stat back up here. C.J. Henderson led all with 9 tackles. Shy Tuttle did good getting some balls batted down today, and he had 3 pass deflections. Shy Tuttle did. That's pretty remarkable. And I don't know how many Bryce has had year to date, but I'm happy for Bryce. All this talk, your hand size, your height, your this, your weight, your durability, none of that has been an issue for Bryce. Batted balls, not an issue for Bryce. Tua had well more batted down balls today than Bryce, but good job by Shy Tuttle getting those done. And great job by Troy Hill with the interception return for a TD late in the game. But here are your stats for the defense. Something that you could say is a little disappointing was how far down on the list Brian Burns is. He had 2 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, had 1 quarterback hit. And Derek Brown not able to make it on this list here for tackles. Derek Brown has been, up until this point, the 2nd leading tackler for a defensive lineman. Wasn't able to get any of that done today. To me, the biggest thing for this defense today was the tackling. The tackling was pretty bad. It was and big plays, which was the result of a lack of tackling. And I think I have it in front of me here. So we were up by 14 points, and then they just went on this tear, 35 unanswered points. Just this is almost the exact same score as the Detroit Lions game was last week. I think Detroit was 42-24. Today was 42-21. So almost the exact same score. Detroit last week, we gave them turnovers to allow them to score pretty quick. Today, we gave them explosive plays, which made it pretty bad. So on the scoring possessions, I didn't get a chance to track all of them, but they were supported by huge plays, missed tackles. At second touchdown, 49-yard run. That's part of that possession that led to a touchdown. 49 yards. That's a big explosive play. On that third touchdown, it was 41 yards, big play, Tyreek Hill. And then on the fourth one, it was 47 yards play by Tyreek, in which he pulled up due to something, injury, cramp, and it could have been bigger. So basically, on 3 scoring drives, they had a play of about 50 yards. I mean, you knew that this team is capable. I'm not saying that we absolutely suck, because they're really, really good. But I will absolutely say, for our game today, that was huge. And maybe we could have limited their explosive plays just a little bit more with some tackling. Now, that Tyreek Hill on Dante Jackson, tackling wouldn't have helped that one. He just beat him, okay? But you can live with one. The other one where he ran up the field, I think it was 49 yards, 48 yards, tackling could have helped that one for sure. And give you another chance, another down to continue to stop this Miami Dolphins team. And then the one where it was 41 yards on Tyreek, where he ran in, boom, 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 then ran out. Same thing. Tackling would have helped your case, play another down, and stop this Miami Dolphins team. And the tackling was pretty darn poor. And they'll still have that picture up. I wonder if it still had that picture up. I just want to show these one more time, because there were some awesome pictures. Look at that jump. Some athleticism by the Dolphins running back. And, I mean, these guys are great. And then I think I have, and here's the play. Tyreek, look at that focus. Catches that ball, gets Dante. But it's just, the guy's blazing, right? That would have been on almost anybody when Tyreek Hill has the ability to do that, and there's nobody over the top. My man Quinton, with the Cash App, just sent in $10. Man, you guys that help support this channel, you might like say, why does God say so much? Well, I'm thankful. I'm sincerely thankful. Yeah, we're independent media. Nobody supports us but you guys. So anytime that anybody's able to do that, we appreciate it pretty much. Let's take a quick look at the NFL as a whole, see how the other NFC South teams did. For those who do not know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently playing. So there's no final in that game yet. The New Orleans Saints did lose today to the Houston Texans. And then we also have the Atlanta Falcons today losing to the Washington Commanders. So for what it's worth, so far everybody else in the NFC South has lost today. So we're not losing any ground. We do have the Tampa game that's on right now. So yeah, you can talk about safety help all you want for that play with Dante Jackson. But man, sheesh. I mean, unless the safety was just had a beeline as soon as the play started, I think that would have been hard, because it wasn't like it was a post. It was kind of down the sideline. So that safety would have had as far as you have to go to get over top and give him some help. Against the fast guy, I mean, yeah, I don't know how much that would have helped, even though he should have safety help on a play. All right. You guys ready to get into some of these comments? By the way, that backflip that was done by Tyreek after he made the touchdown reception, where he grabbed the phone, did the backflip, that video has now made it onto Twitter. So I was able to grab that video. I retweeted it. So if you haven't seen it and would like to see the video of that play, just go over to our Twitter account on Charlotte Vibe, and you will see they got the whole play. They got it running, catching, and then come over to the guy, taking the phone and doing the backflip. So probably one of those things that Tyreek says, the penalty, the fine was worth it. So, all right, let's go ahead and make sure I give some props to all of our members here who have tuned in so far today. Here we go. Appreciate you, Knucklehead K. So there you have it. You see the special sticker that appears by your name when you're a member. And members, I promise to always get to your comments before I get off the channel. So appreciate it very much. And then we got my man Mad Chatter. The Mad Chatter, look at this, round of applause. All right, you guys are supporting us, helping us do what we do. We need the support. We have been able to, with your support, make sure that we have at least one person traveling to a game that every time this year. That is our photographer, Patrick Snyder. Really would love to all of us to be on there so we can continue to get some more point of views that we can get when we're at a game. Next game that I know that myself and Patrick will be traveling to will be that Thursday night football game in Chicago. But I certainly want to get my man Andre Cassidy on the road again because you guys love him, I love him. It helps us get out more content. So thank you, Matt Chatter. And he also says that Chuba was very good, and he was. Disappointed in the loss, of course, but they played well. So yeah, it was progress to be seen. It was progress to be seen. Now, you could be an absolutist fan that says a loss is terrible, I don't care. I get it. You won't like the rest of my comments. But for those who are a little bit more optimistic, yeah, there's some things to build on from today. There's some things to build on. I'm not happy, though. I'm not happy. Adam played very good. He did. They need to work with Bryce on the deep ball. So I'm glad that you put that out there because I do feel like, not saying, hey, I've discovered why Bryce isn't throwing the ball downfield. I'm not saying that. But I will say just on today's game, the deep balls that he threw, they didn't look that good. They didn't look that good. So, yeah, could be some improvement there. Certainly could be some improvement. I would like to see him look a little bit better than they were looking today. Appreciate the comment there. And let's see. Sam Franklin out there dropping the boom on dudes. Franklin did have a pretty good hit, and unfortunately he got a little shaken up on that. But yeah, that was a pretty good hit. Continue to go through some of these comments here. How I say it nice. Less is more with Miles. I don't think you could say it any nicer than that. I get what you're saying, and I don't think you said any better than that. Knucklehead K agrees with you. And Quinton over here, Chuba opened up the offense. He did in the first quarter. And they said, hey, this is how we're going to stop this. I don't know if our linemen just got tired and wasn't able to push. But, yeah, after that first quarter, they shut that down again. We had like 60-some yards of our 108 in that first quarter, and it just went down from there. I think we were averaging a little over 6.3 yards per carry in that first quarter, and then it went down to about 3.5. So they made an adjustment. They made an adjustment for sure on us for that. Very disappointed in Terrace Marshall Jr. drops. Got to help the young rookie. Yeah. So yeah, the fate of Terrace Marshall Jr. is certainly a question mark at this point. Certainly a question mark at this point. How you feel about Bryce never running and sliding, especially late? Yeah, right now I would say I don't have any negative feelings on that. Nothing negative right now. He says, shout out to Chris with the Miami Connect. That was our photographer, Patrick Snyder, that was traveled to the game in Miami for us. But yes, we always bring you guys a lot of good content, live videos as well. Again, just make sure I take care of my members, and then we'll mix in some stuff with everyone else. I'm just glad that they did not put up 70 plus on us. Yes. All right. Hill Joe, appreciate your membership. I don't think I've gotten to you yet, so we're going to give you some applause and also sound the horn for you. Really have to be honest with each other and genuinely assess the team. Let the best player play. Did you have a particular player that you're talking about there, or you're just saying in general? Appreciate the comment, though, Hill Joe. He said to Bryce, "Stay the course, almost got replaced." Now, some guesses there on what Bryce and Tua was talking about. And again, just want to make sure I touch on all my members before I get out of here, because we are near our 1 hour mark, which is where we like to stop it for the show. Definitely hoping we trade Burns, because he's not worth $28 million. He's not TJ Watt level or higher. Yeah. It still seems like a sucky situation, right? I mean, that's one like business part of it. You can say, hey, you've not been a superstar. And there could be other little intricacies that go into that, of like the team being behind, or they're not throwing the ball, or yada, yada, yada. But I just feel like they told Brian they were going to pay him. He came up, didn't hold out, and then they didn't do it. So if it turns out that he's just wanting, I don't know. Even if he wanted a lot of money, why did you not bend and give him the money? Maybe I'm just too nice of a guy, but you also told me, aka Brian Burns, hey, I'm rejecting 2 number 1 picks. So it doesn't matter if I'm not worth it. The way that you played me last year in terms of not trading me told me that you thought I was worth it. But then when I go to cash in on you telling me that I'm worth it, you won't let me cash in. I should be worth more to the Panthers in theory than I am to another team, because I started here. I'm being loyal here. I'll stay here. I'll play through as much pain as I can and make this team win. And they didn't pay the guy. But continue on. I want to make sure I get through a lot of the members before I get out of here. Now, I will go just a little bit longer to make sure I get some of the non-members as well. But I gotta say, membership has its privileges. All right, I've touched on most of these. At this point, I'm like, screw it, bring in Antonio Brown for the rest of the season. Man, that guy's way too much trouble. Chatter says trade TMJ. I mean, you could trade him, but I just don't feel like you're going to get much. You're going to get another experimental type player. I'm not experimental, I'm sorry, developmental type player. All right. Seems like the way we're playing, Frank's job is on the line. So Frank is coaching for his job, but he's not coaching for his job and says like he's going to get fired tomorrow. It's just not I get the fan upsetness, and I get the frustration of, man, we're 0-6, but just to scrap things and start over this quick, it's tough. You got to give the guy, from a business perspective, you're going to give the guy a chance to learn. You're going to give the guy a chance to learn from his mistakes, give him a chance to connect with players. And you just can't start firing people after 6 months. Like, if he fires Frank Reich, do you not think, like if he fires him now and in the season, if he fires him, do you not think that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the next hire, even more than you ever? Because you're saying to your staff, your players, all right, we're getting rid of guys. And you bring a new one in. It takes time for things to develop. And if you bring in another guy and that guy has a slow start, what if the next guy starts out 0-3? What if he starts out 1-4? I don't know. You just can't turn over head coaches that quickly. That's the short answer. All right. Dante Jackson got fried. Oh, somebody said got fried, not fired. I'm sorry. Hey, look at this comment from Yvette. Beautiful pictures. Keep up the good work. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. No, go ahead and say just a general thank you to the man of the people. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. We already had the diva moment with Robbie. We don't need Antonio to run it back. No, we don't. So I'm going to go 10 more minutes. And again, I have to give some preference to our members that help support the channel. Had to go over some stats. A lot of good interaction today, but I still want to remind you this for anybody that's like, man, he missed my comment. Two ways to guarantee that I get to your comment. One is to become a member. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $3.99 a month. Link is in the description, but also on YouTube. Just scroll up a little bit. You'll see where you can join. Love your support, independent media. We need your funding. The other thing is, and this is free, just call in. That link is in the description. We had 3 people call in today. We're going to go live again tomorrow. Hope that we'll continue to have some call-ins, but that's a way to skip the line, way to directly interact with a member of the media that's credentialed. That's myself, as well as Andre Cassidy. So we welcome you all to do that. Those are why the show is live. So if you just want to retype a question that you had, if I have not addressed your question, and for the last 10 minutes of the show here, 7 minutes now, I guess at this point, I will go through it. Carrillo does not like Brian Burns. He's not trash. He's not trash. He's not the superstar that you want him to be right now, but he's not trash. Appreciate the comment. I love this person's name here. Nas says, Bryce improved overall. Can't be mad at that. Now time to improve the deep ball. Yep. Time to improve the deep ball for sure. Lord Bezeldorf, I'm down to just trade Burns at this point if we can get a top 5 for him. Yeah. I mean, but the question does go to say that position of having somebody being able to rush and put pressure is important. And even though Brian isn't giving us consistent rush, like just dominating each game, he does pose a threat. He does get double teams. And if you move on from him, and now you have no guy that's going to legitimately make the offensive coordinator on the other side kind of worried about saying, hey, we always need to know where this guy is. Now you're starting to put even more pressure on your secondary. So, if you get rid of him, I haven't thought too deeply about this, but if you get rid of him, there certainly needs to be a place and plan to include, yes, we'll get rid of him. And with the biggest asset that we get from that trade, we're getting a wide receiver. Okay, but then with the second biggest asset that we're getting from that trade, if we do that with Brian Burns, we got to replace him. Whether we're going to do that in the free agency, we're going to willing to put some money into that from a free agency standpoint, and we feel like there's some guys coming up that will be free agents that we can do that with, or we feel like there's some guys in the draft. Now, I don't have the staff that the Carolina Panthers have to know all the answers for who exists in what areas. They do have the resources, so I just want to be privy to that plan. But I think it's something that should be considered at this point. What Burns has been doing since game 1? Absolutely nothing at all, says Shannon Tyler. All right, let's pull up some Brian Burns stats. Let's do that. Give me 1 second. You all are mad at Brian Burns. I'm going to just try to see if I can get some stats for him. And here we go. All right, I just went to a screen that I did not mean to go to. All right, here we go. See if we can get some stats on Burns. Uh-oh. I gotta learn how to type. All right, here we go. Everybody's been talking about Brian Burns, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of stat breakdown. First game against the Falcons, yes, he was on fire. 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 quarterback hit. Next game against the Saints, went down to just 2 tackles, no tackles for a loss. Now that Seahawks game, he played pretty well. 4 tackles, a sack, 3 tackles for a loss. Vikings game, not so well. So he really seems like, Brian Burns seems like he's on about in every other game that he's making more of an impact. Every other game. But overall, I do know that his tackles for a loss are good overall in the league. All right, let's see if I can't get through 2 more here. Now, I have not been able to look at any of the press conference information because I tried to go live as quickly as I could. So I will check and see, because you guys are telling me some things, if there's any other big updates. Give me just a second here. Yeah, there's no further information on the severity of Laviska's injury, so we'll see there. All right, last one here. Last one, Carolina Panthers, Brandon Herbert. It will be one of the biggest mistakes in Carolina Panthers history if we pay him like that. And that's again talking about Brian Burns. Don't pay the man. Carolina Panthers, Brandon Herbert. That's a long name. How much should we pay him? I'll let that be the last remark. And this is a delay, so I'll wait for that delay. How much should we pay Brian Burns? And let me ask you this: do you think he wants to remain here? I don't know. You think he wants to remain here after feeling like, you said you were going to pay me, now you don't want to pay me what I'm asking? We'll go ahead and plug again. Tomorrow will be our follow-up show where we dedicate the show 100% towards your question and comment, and you guys calling in. So please be sure to set your reminders for that. I'm gonna give another few seconds to see if Beazle Dwarf tells me how much we should pay Brian Burns. He says 20 to 25. Chatter says 23 to 25. Okay. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody. Sorry if I was not able to get to you, but again, tomorrow's show will be dedicated 100% towards answering your questions. So if I didn't get to you today, please consider joining myself as well as Andre Cassidy tomorrow. Once again, unfortunately, the Carolina Panthers fall to the Miami Dolphins 21 to 42. They also fall to 0-6. Some promising things by Bryce Young. Short promising things by the run game, which really got flattened after the first quarter. We got a bye week coming up to make some adjustments and hopefully come back strong, get our first win against the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. Regardless, I know there's going to be a lot of talk about the quarterback comparison as we head into that game. Texans haven't won today, and I think that brings the Texans record to 3-3, 500 team, 3 more wins than we have. So, hey, appreciate you all very much. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. Thanks for watching.